I've had loved ones say, you're family to strangers and a stranger to family, or something like that. It's kind of a harsh thing. And maybe it's part of my travel is that I love my family, don't get me wrong, but family is not the end all. I've got just such a beautiful little grandson right now, my first grandson. And people thought, okay, now maybe you'll get serious about the importance of, the immediate love. No, that heightens my appreciation of the value of a parent's love to a beautiful child south of the border. It just changes your outlook when you've traveled and you realize the beautiful humanity of this planet. When I was 23 years old, I finally went to India on what was called the Hippie Trail back then. I was just a piano teacher. It was before I was a travel writer at all. I was happy to be a piano teacher. I wanted to be a piano teacher for the rest of my life. Kids wouldn't practice in the summer, so I said, I'll see you in September. I'm going traveling. I did that every year. And I was getting a little tired of Europe, and I thought I want to go beyond Europe. It had been several years when I dreamed to do this, planned to do it, and had excuses to bail out, because it was kind of scary. But we got to a certain point where we realized we will never regret this. When I left Istanbul, heading east, I remember thinking, nobody knows me. Nobody knows I even exist between here and Seattle. And I don't know a single soul between here and Seattle. And there's no internet, no parental safety net, just a few traveler's checks in my money belt and a travel buddy, and we were heading off into the unknown. This was thrilling. This kind of travel was truly transformational. I didn't even know it at the time. It was providing the compost pile of experiences from which my passions about the value of travel would grow. I was in Afghanistan having lunch at the cafeteria where all the backpackers have their lunch, and a man sat next to me. He said, "Can I join you?" I said, "You already have." He said, "Are you an American?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm a professor here in Afghanistan, and I'd like you to know that a third of the people on the planet eat with spoons and forks like you do, a third of the people eat with chopsticks, and a third of the people eat with fingers like I do, and we're all civilized just the same." 45 years later, I can still hear that line, and we're all civilized just the same. And I thought, boy, he's got a chip on his shoulder, but I also thought, he's right. I thought less of him because he ate with his fingers. I just love those challenges that we get when we're on the road. It's the refreshingness of having my ethnocentricity walloped. Somebody has rearranged all of my cultural furniture, and now I get to stumble around and figure it out again. It humbles my self-assuredness, and I need that, and I like that. When I finished that trip, I flew home, gave away my piano students, turned my recital hall into a lecture hall, and started a small travel business, period. And that was the springboard for me doing what I'm doing now. I want to be the go-to guy for Americans who are out of their comfort zone to have a great time in Europe so that they can then use that to go swimming in the deep end. Culture shock is the growing pains of a broadening perspective. And now with my guidebook writing and my tour guiding and my TV production, I get to provide a curation for that. But I certainly never want to steer people away from culture shock. I want them to see it as a way to become more comfortable with the world and less fearful. There's so much fear in our society these days. And fear is dangerous. Fear lets people who want to have their way with you manipulate you, as we're learning. The flip side of fear is understanding, and we gain understanding when we travel. I think there's two kinds of Americans, those who believe we'll be safer by building bridges, and those who believe we'll be safer by building walls. And it is so clear to me we'll be safer if we build bridges. It's fascinating to me. I've been just traveling like a madman for decades, and I'm still stumbling upon frontiers of travel that my travelers would like to know about. But I've got prostate cancer. And when I can't do that anymore, I can't do that anymore. The first thing I thought when I got my prostate cancer diagnosis was, I'm thankful. It's the oddest thing. I'm thankful, and I'm going to get through this. And I thought, I'm blessed. It's pretty clear to me when I walked down the main hall of that hospital, I don't know how many, but I bet half the patients there wish they had my problem, you know. And I could have felt sorry for myself, but what I felt was, let's learn from this and let's share it. I've never put this into words before, but let's learn from this trip and share it. And that's what I do. That's my mission, is to take good, or at least mindful trips, learn from the experience and share it. I love collecting wow moments. It's the kind of moments I want to savor just for the love of it. And then Rick Steves, the travel writer, jumps in there and says, get a photograph and take notes. So that's the burden I bear. My wow moments are beleaguered with my mission to bring it home and report on it.